And of course, next month will be Hurricane Helene's 1 year anniversary. And for so many, it feels like just yesterday they were just devastated. Many business owners are still rebuilding and preparing for what could be perhaps another intense season. That's just around the corner. And unfortunately, that's the case for our next guest. Peter Gottschling joining us live. He's the owner of Grove Surf and Coffee Shop. That's, of course, in beautiful St. Pete Beach, Florida. Pete, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it. And Peter, let me know, how were you guys impacted by the storm?
Yeah, so we had, thank you for having me. We had 34 inches of water throughout our entire shop. So we lost about 80% of our inventory. That included, soft goods, machinery, fridges, coffee machines, all that kind of stuff. So it was pretty significant for us.
What did those following days, weeks, and months look like right after the storm?
So the beaches were closed for about 48 hours to all residents and business owners, understandably, while the authorities here kind of cleared the roadways and cleared power lines and made sure everything was safe for, even the locals to return. So that made it really challenging because we couldn't even really start. Luckily, we had some friends that were able to give us a ride out on a boat, about 36 hours in. So we got about as good of a head start as we could, but when everything is wet and ruined, in your store, there's a lot of pieces to pick up. But we were very fortunate, had a lot of friends and family that were willing to help out. So,
yeah, and how long?
A lot of work for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Peter, how long did it take you guys to get back on your feet?
We just reopened our store on June 9th.
Wow. Okay, so that was like literally within the past month-ish now is what I'm hearing you tell me. What are you guys doing now? How are you feeling? I'm sure that there's a feeling of, post-traumatic stress when we start talking about an active hurricane season. How are you feeling now? And what are you guys doing right now to prepare?
I think we are paying a lot more attention to some of the forecasts. I've lived here my whole life. We've never had anything that even kind of remote flooding you could imagine, what we went through last year. So I think just taking every forecast and every, threat and warning a little bit more seriously, and then preparing farther in advance. Yeah.
When you say just because I want everyone to hear this, when you say preparing in advance, how much sooner in advance are you preparing now?
I would say, before it was the 24 hours leading up to the storm. We're a business, so we want to stay open as long as we can. But, I think we're probably looking at, a 24 to 48 hour, preparedness, where we shut the store quite a bit earlier than we did before, raise up everything, take out way more than we did before. We had Helene last year that obviously hit us, and then we had Milton shortly thereafter. And even just with that second storm, we started preparing quite a bit differently. We have another shop in addition to the one that flooded. And so for that second shop that's in Indian Rocks Beach, Florida, for Milton, we took out all of our fridges to, offsite. Pretty much any machinery that we could get out of here, we did to try to avoid what we went through at our St. Pete Beach store.
Oh my goodness, yeah, I've actually been to Indian Rocks several times. My family vacations there every single year, and you're right, you guys took a big time hit. Peter, thank you so much for your time, the owner of Grove Street and Coffee Shop right there in beautiful St. Pete Beach. Make sure to check them out and support. Peter, thank you so much for your time this morning and for hanging out with us here on Fox Weather.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.